Hi, this is April Sibukwaptua, and I was selected to do the board member of the month for the month of March. Just a little bit of background information. I am a Hopi tribal member, and I am from the village of Sichomovi, which is on First Mesa, and I am a member of the Butterfly Clan. I have been working for the past 21 years as an archaeologist here in Arizona, where I live. I have been a board member of the HEAF for about 4 years. It might be 3. I'm pretty sure it's 4 years though. And I am the current vice president of HEAF. I was given a series of questions, 4 to be exact. So let's start with the first question. The first question is, if you had a warning label, what would yours say? So many years ago, I had a coworker who was doing some research, and in her research, she came across this little symbol list for hobos. So I don't really quite know why hobos would need a symbol list, but the idea was that it was a way for them to travel or to find a safe place to eat or a friendly place to stay. So she thought it was pretty hilarious, and she ended up giving out a symbol to pretty much everyone in the office, and it was loosely based on your personality. And here is the symbol that she gave me. So my symbol that she gave me was look out, gun handy. Now, when I ended up asking her why she gave me this symbol, the lookout gun handy, it wasn't necessarily because she thought I was dangerous or not approachable. It was actually quite the opposite. It was more a take on the word handy, because most people who know me know that I pretty much carry a random selection of things. You do not look at my purse. You have no idea what I'm gonna have in there, but more than likely I'm probably gonna have something you need. And I was pretty much like that through my entire career. On survey, I had extra food, I had extra snacks, extra water, band-aids, you name it, I had it. And even to this day, I still carry a little pocket knife on me. I have a Swiss Army knife on my keychain. So it's more or less just a way to be able to be prepared. So that's why she gave me that lookout gun handy. It was more a play on the word handy, because you just never know what you were going to get with me, and if you needed anything, you probably wanted to come to me because I probably had it. Okay, so question 2 is, what is the craziest thing you'd do if you had a week to do it? So a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was like about a month ago, I was on an archaeological panel, and the moderator on that panel, he was from Hawaii. And we connected on social media, and he posts these amazing pictures of Hawaii in places that most people don't get to go to. But because he's also an archaeologist, he also gives very detailed background information for those places and the history of Hawaii. So if I had a week and probably unlimited funds, I would fly to Hawaii, and I would call him up and have him take me to all of these places so that I could learn about probably the real Hawaii and what it used to be. Okay, and question 3 is, what's one amazing combination of food that no one knows about except you? And then it says I have to share that recipe. So I really thought hard about this, because I don't feel like I cook a lot of things that are too crazy or unique. But then also the other combinations that I do have, they're kind of family recipes, and a lot of my family members probably wouldn't want me sharing them. So I ended up going with a recipe that I ended up tasting a couple years ago with a Filipino family. We were on vacation, and we went to go visit them, and we stayed with them, and they made us this these spaghetti and hot dog dish. And when they were talking about what they were making and we were listening to them describe it, we're like, yeah, we're not eating that. And we ended up eating it. It was probably one of the best things that I've ever tasted. So fast forward a couple years later, I am on a camping trip with several other families, and I was making dinner for everybody in the camp. And so because most of the camp members were families and they had some kids, I was making spaghetti. Well, I ended up noticing that there was a bunch of grilled hot dogs left over. So I ended up just chopping up all those hot dogs and I just threw it into the spaghetti. I did not have any sugar. I probably didn't have any of the right spices, but I just basically just threw the hot dogs into the spaghetti. And that was probably the one dish that there was absolutely no leftovers over. And that is one of the dishes that when we do go camping that those kids do recommend me making, and it is something that they do remember. So I'm going to have to post that recipe. It'll probably be after the video, so be sure to look out for that. Number 4 is, what would a perfect vacation look like for you? I have never traveled outside of the United States. I've only traveled, it's mainly on the West Coast. I really haven't gotten out. But when I have gone on vacations, we've always done national parks. And then the other requirement for our trips is we always visit a brewery. So my perfect vacation would be visiting a national park wherever we are going and finding the local brewery and eating lunch and dinner there, because that is something that we love to do. We love to try the local beer wherever we go, and we just love to go to the national parks, mainly because my kids have the little passport book and they love to fill that little thing up with stamps, and they also like to get the little flattened penny that you can find in the gift shop. So that's what a perfect vacation would look like for me. So I really hope that you learned a little bit more about me. I will post a little hot dog recipe. I know it's not going to have the same taste as a Filipino one would have with the sweetness, but I'll just post the one that I cooked when I go camping, and the little kids love it. So take care. So here is my what I called my probably res version of spaghetti and hot dogs. There's, if you can use fresh ingredients, I highly recommend it. It's going to make it taste so much better. But again, because I was camping at the time when I made this, I just kind of had to work with what I had. So it's pretty simple, just basic ingredients. So that's the ingredients list. And then here is kind of roughly how I cooked it. I didn't know how to put this together, so I just kind of wrote it down pretty quick. So it's just, I guess if you know how to make your own sauce, you can kind of do the same thing. But I highly recommend it, that if you can try the Filipino version, try that. It's definitely delicious. But if you do happen to make mine, let me know how it was and if you enjoyed it. So thanks.